What is up, everybody? It's Joe from JLDB Games coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster with another tutorial video. So I hope you guys have been enjoying these tutorial videos. If you want to see more tutorials, be sure to subscribe, comment anything you want me to show or want me to show you guys how to do, and I will be more than willing to try and help you guys out with it. So today what we're going to be looking at is creating an entrance building for your park, kind of like just a basic entrance, you know. There's different ways. If you have a certain theme, then go with that theme, obviously, but today I'm just going to do a generic entrance, just because, you know, we're not going to do, we don't know what kind of theme we're doing, so we're just going to do a regular, beautiful amusement park entrance. So basically, it's always good to go ahead, if you click in on this park entrance, you can always move it, of course, and place a park entrance wherever you need it by just going to your shops and facilities and heading, just make sure you're on custom and make sure you are on park entrances, and you can add multiple ones, but it's good if you add multiple ones to make sure that you are here editing inside the building. That way you're staying on the same grid. It's always a good idea. So basically what we'll want to do is editing this building. I'm gonna add just a few more gates here. Usually that's really nice. So this isn't gonna be a huge entrance or anything, but it's going to be nice. So basically we can select the off the grid here, and we can create some entrance points here. So if we want, we can even delete that so it's all together, and you can make sure it's all together like that. So basically, we'll make sure we're in the building here by clicking this. You want to make sure you're editing inside the building. We're going to go to wall pieces, and basically you just want to make a shape of your building. A good way to start, if you want a very nice generic kind of style, you know, I always like to make the outline first. So I'm gonna go with this lime plaster color, pretty or texture. It's gonna work pretty well for what we want. We're gonna create kind of like a box on either side right here. I like that. All right, and there's different ways you can also do this as well. So, and then maybe we'll put a forward piece here. Just, you want to make sure you add some nice just some nice, this isn't going to be a huge build either. So this is going to be my base piece. We can also change the color of this if we want to. That way it's not the generic color that it already is. So we're just going to select all these, and let's make it, let's just do a gray color. Now after that, let's go ahead and add, so another way to do this is, I think I'm actually going to go, and you might make different decisions while you go along here too. I want to make a centerpiece here that kind of connects with the entrance as well. So that will be a nice touch for what we're going for. Now, we're going to go ahead and add in kind of our plain wall piece. And I'm going to go with the stucco wall. It's a very nice plain wall piece for generic pieces. And we're going to go ahead and go all the way around here on the sides, which looks beautiful. Whoops, and just kind of put it all together. And as you can see, this is what we have. Now, I don't want there to be this much of a gap in between here, so I'm going to go with a 1H stucco piece to kind of make it look more of an entrancey. And you can go either further with this. If you want to go to arches, you can even place some arch pieces here if you want. Kind of do whatever you want, you know, get creative with it, and you can really kind of go at it. So so if I wanted like these stucco pieces and just have something like that, that is always a very classic kind of entrance feel to a park. I kind of like that. So and then I usually go to my flat roofs, and what we're gonna do is use the smooth concrete and just kind of cover this up, kind of like so. All right, and now we're going to get our pitched roofs, and we're going to just find some nice pitched roofs that will work well here. You might even have to turn down your grid height so you can put it just the right height sometimes. Sometimes it's a little picky on that. So I'm gonna do these forward here. And then I want these to kind of blend in. And to do that, I'm gonna turn down the grid size so we can just blend them in nicely like that. Alright, and now we're going to want to put some wall pieces right there on those openings, so we don't have those openings. You can also maybe go with a different texture on this, just to add a little bit more to your build here. Just make sure we have the right texture. And so I'm gonna go with, let's go with this texture actually, and we'll change the color later. Actually, we could probably keep that color. That doesn't look half bad. And we can also look for those extension pieces. They do have some extension pieces where, let me see if I can find them. Sometimes you can get lost with the piece library that is in Planet Coaster. Sometimes you can lose your way. You know, you can like kind of lose everything that's here. So you can kind of just do that, but I think that's actually fine the way it is. So anyways, next, so we got kind of a shape going on here, and you can always add on to it, you know, if you want to do some crazy stuff. Not necessarily crazy, but just some extra stuff, go for it, you know. Like, let's put a, just do something unique, right, is what we're going to do here, is I'm just going to put an extra cover here. Just something different, you know. Oops. That's basically the idea, is to just do something a little bit different than what you'd usually see. And then maybe we can put some posts here. And we can do whatever kind of post we want. Let's use this beam. Kind of go outside the box here. Let's do a kind of gray, white kind of color. And even if you would like to, you can even maybe even add this to the entrance side as well, if it turns out well enough. So if I want, I can go ahead and place it on the other side as well. Kind of like that. Now we have this awkward, this little gap that we need to take care of. That can be placed with some extra pieces here. Just make sure you have your grid size down to where it's not going to interfere. And that can take care of that. And then to put in this little gap to help fix it, we can place in, say, another piece like this. I'm actually going to take a 1H piece to help support it. And when you have those little gaps, you can just add details to cover them up. So I kind of like that. We discovered that. So, and this is just, you know, as you go along, you can mess with it and do stuff like that, and just get creative with your shapes. So just start off with basic shapes for your entrance and stuff, and then you can go back and just kind of, you know, change a couple things here and there. You know, you're more than welcome to go in and kind of make some subtle changes. As you can see, just adding these things have already added some extra shaping to our entrance here. And there's different ways to do entrances. You can do more open stuff and stuff like that, or you can keep it more closed, kind of like this. And then usually I like to go in and cover each corner that we have here with pieces. A little trick here, if you want to do it on both sides, you just copy it here, and then Control X. You can just slide her on down to the other side. And then boom, you got those there on the other side as well. And you can see we're already getting some good details going on in here. Another good place for detail is going over here to like roof trims. This is always a popular piece to use for this. If you hold down F, it will snap to the edge there. Oops. So hold down F and then it'll snap on the building. You can put these all the way around if you want. And as for the corners that don't match up, I can show what kind of a little shortcut you can use to help with those. That usually works for me. So we're going to go ahead and go all the way around here. So to fix these up, usually I will take this, line it up, and then just place another piece until they're full like that. If you don't like that look, you can usually get a corner piece that will cover it up as well, but this is usually what I do because I think it works just fine. Yeah, it doesn't go, like, it doesn't, like, completely cover it up properly the way you would think, but it still works pretty well. Just add an extra piece. There we go. And that's kind of how you can do that. Forgot to add the pieces on this side. And I'll go ahead and put these ones in like this. There we go. As you can see, that looks pretty nice. And now if you want to do a little bit of decorating, let's go ahead and go into some windows here. Usually I like this wooden window right here. It works really well. You can do just some stuff like that. Trims can always be, just kind of trimming up some stuff can always be nice. Going into some wall decorations can also be a big plus as well, depending on what you're looking for. So you can have these paintings if you wanted to, or a lot of times I'll just put in windows because I think they look the best. So what we'll do is put some windows here, and then I'm gonna put in an awning on top of it, one that I like. So awnings are very nice little detail pieces that you can use. I accidentally pushed wrong button there, my bad. But very nice little pieces that you can do here. You can also you know, do some planters as well up against the windows. These are always a nice option for fun little details as well. Sometimes I like this one. And let's go ahead and change the color of that to a dark red. That's what I'm feeling. If you want to add more details to your windows, you know, make them less boring, like, hey, this is in-game stuff that's kind of boring, you know, add some borders to them or something, just kind of whatever, you know, just find whatever piece you can, and you can add, like, little borders to them. So, let's just add a little wooden border to it. We'll just give it a little bit more character. Kind of like that, and then if we want to do one at the tops too, we can. There we go. Just something like that is pretty nice. So if we want, we can go ahead and copy all these pieces. If you do this, just make sure you get every piece selected, and we can copy it to another wall. Whoops. Now you gotta be aware, sometimes the 3D Gizmo tool is not very nice. If you're on the world axis, like I just switched over, you can always do that, or you can just kind of be careful here and just kind of get it just right. Now say if I want to add it to the other side, I'm just going to rotate it around. I'm using the world axis, so it is not messed up. So, because we can use these over on this side too. There's never too much detail in your buildings. You can never spend too much time on them. And this is just going to be... See, those windows always add so much. Just add so much to your pieces. So, anyways, going into more detail, I'm going to go ahead and add a white texture. It's going to separate our bottom piece with our wall piece. And this will give us a nice trim color to our things. And these make a huge difference. They may not seem like much, but they can make a huge difference when it comes to just detail, you know. These little details all add up in the end, and you can create some good looking stuff. All you gotta do is, you know, have a little bit of patience and take some time. These things don't come together right away if you want a really beautiful thing. And if you want it right away, there's always the Steam Workshop that you can use. There's always a lot of really good stuff on there. If you're just looking to throw a park together with, you know, with this stuff, you know, you can easily do it. You know, I don't know what I did there. I'm trying to rotate it, but it's not rotating. Oh, there it is. But we're going to try and get all our edges here in place. And we're starting to come together here. And all the way across here. And you know, you just keep on going until you think you have enough detail, you know? Just keep doing little stuff like this. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the way this is looking so far. I'm going to go ahead and add a window over here as well. If you want to mix it up, go ahead and add another window, just a different style window. And throw in a couple more awnings or something. See, like this one. This one looks nice. Awnings are your friend. Alright, and for good measure, it's always good to think about your lighting as well. So getting some lamps in there, or some sort of form of lighting on here also can add a lot of detail as well. So say if I want to add some arm lights like this, these are always a nice option for a generic kind of modern feel. Get something in there like that. And you know, just have some, there's just a lot of options for lights. You also have the street lamps that hang over like that if you want to add those. You have like the storm, these little lanterns. Firehouse floodlights. You know, it just depends on what you do have. Some of you might not have all the DLC packs, so you're gonna have to work around that, which is totally fine. So I'm use these items here. I'm gonna go ahead and can't forget this side either. And there's that. Now, going into here, I am kind of aware, like this right here, I don't really like the looks of that, so I want to try and maybe cover that up. So we're going to go ahead and head to our columns and see what we can find to maybe close that or get rid of that with adding some more detail. So maybe if I want to add this wooden plank piece, kind of a gray color I think will work nice. that can come across here. We can skip that part because we're not using it. And then maybe if we want to add it on this side as well. Heck, all the sides are welcome. Kind of whatever we want to do, you know, just keep adding on more and more until you're satisfied, you know, that's just how it works. And then remember, Control Z is your friend here. Really, really is. Just copying your pieces and stuff. Definitely is a really good ally to have here. So I'm trying to get all the edges with these pieces as well. Which so far is working very nicely, I have to say. Alright, get it on this side as well. And you can see that it's just another nice little detail to have going into this. So, and then for this piece, we're going to have to use a shorter piece because it is going to be smaller. And it fits in just perfect like that. Alright. And just like that, we have that now as well. And for good measure, it's always good to maybe add just like a nice... really beautiful big sign up here for your park, and you can kind of use whatever you want. So we can even use, say, we're just going to use a customizable sign here for our park entrance. I always like the ticket one. One's one of my favorites. And we're just gonna give a random name here. We'll just say Valley Park or something. Or something like that. And then change the colors accordingly, of course. So say I usually like to make my ticket pieces here kind of like a gold maybe, and give it a little outline kind of like that or something. Let's get the outline a little bit more of a dark like that, and then we can make the text white so it stands out pretty well, and then maybe make the outline like black or something. Works just fine. And instead of white, I think I'm gonna go more kind of a cream color, so it's kind of just an off-white. Alright, that's brilliant. And I'm going to give, for these posts here, I kind of want to give little columns here, almost like footers, so they're not just going straight into the ground. Have little footer pieces. Like I said, little details like these all add up in the end for your park. And then once you go there, you can maybe even go in. Never hurts to add a little bit of foliage around as well, and some flowers, and just little basic things to keep it looking nice and pretty. I always do that. I always accidentally push buttons. There you have it on that, and that's looking pretty good so far, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'm going to add one more window to the middle here. It just seems a little empty to me. There we go. And for good measure, I'm just going to go into the toolkit items and add a couple special pieces here, if I can find them. And I know during these videos, a lot of people prefer them to be kind of uncut. That way, there's nothing that they miss and everything, so I'm just going to keep it that way. Now, I know these are like parking signs, but I like to use them as kind of like some, maybe park flags or something. Actually, instead of that, let's use... I always use the toolkit items. Are very nice as well if you can. There's quite a few cool items in here that I think is definitely good to have. If I remember the names of some of them, I can just search them instead of scroll through here. There's one piece that I'm thinking about putting in here that I think would actually look good. And it's like a cover piece. Nope. That's not it. I feel like I should see it while scrolling down, but I never do. For some reason, I keep missing it. But yeah, just add everything you can to make it the way you want to. And, you know, there is no limit. You can... here it is. I guess it's called shelter. And you can feel free to make this however you want when it comes to your park, because it's yours. Let's go ahead and center this. And you can just do some, again, just do some fun stuff here. Like, for instance, I'm using some toolkit items here just for a fun little entrance to help with it. And then, of course, place down a couple of things around it to, you know, like park benches and stuff are always going to make it look better. You know, if you're like me, you would also have like a ticket booth and stuff like that, but obviously not. You don't have to go with that if you don't want to put it in there. You don't have to. We can put stuff like that, and then you can also, of course, have some lamps and stuff. So I'm trying to also kind of use non-DLC items as much as I can, just for those that don't have them. But if you do have them, use them, by all means. But we're just gonna go in here, place a couple of lamps, and just like that, we have a nice little park entrance coming in. So, and then as a final touch, I think we're gonna put curbs on these paths. So for this, I'm just going to use the end game one. For this, because I think it will work just fine. Delete that there, and there you have it. We have a beautiful generic park entrance, and this is probably as generic as it gets. If it was kind of like one of my main parks, I'd probably add even more detail. But this is kind of gives you a basic idea of what you can do with your stuff as well. And you can just keep going in there, adding more and more details. Like I said, if it was me, I'd probably be adding even more and more as I went along, but this is, you know, just something that you can do if you're just trying to make your own generic entrance and stuff like that, getting started and everything. Just start from here. Just remember to start with shaping, so shape up your building first, and just with the basic shapes, and then you can always change that later to make it more detailed. So anyways, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys find it very helpful. If not, I apologize. If so, please leave a like. Subscribe for more awesome content like this. Be sure to let me know down in the comments below what you would like me to do a tutorial on next. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure you guys have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow. Thanks, and goodbye.